Today, President Donald Trump changing course, putting a 90-day pause on most tariffs, and the European Union saying it too will pause its reciprocal actions as well. However, we're not sure which countries are being relieved from the import tax. What we do know is China, Mexico, and Canada are not included on the list. Instead of pausing it, Trump raised the tariffs on China. Goods from there will face a 125% tariff. This means, for example, a PlayStation 5 could cost close to $1,100, and a child's car seat could jump to over $130. Now, let's take a closer look at how those price jumps work. Let's take a laptop, for example, like the one I use every day for work. It costs about $400 to import and retails about $570. With the 125% tariff, the price could jump to over $1,000. That's because even if importers absorb 95% of the tariff, some of the extra costs will be passed to the customer.
Right now, it's just like this. We don't know which way to go on anything that's going to be happening. We do know what's there. We do know that tariffs have been placed in. We do know that this is going to impact us. Now, what's going to happen on the side from our government, we don't know.
Cindy is a farmer in Mississippi, and due to tariffs, she's about to have to raise prices to her customers. Right now, there's still a 10% global tariff. Mexico and Canada are still left with a 25% tariff, and imported cars are also still subject to their 25% tariff. Now, let's take a look at some everyday goods that will have a jump in prices. We here at WQAD, we drink a lot of coffee, and our morning brew could start costing more. In the last year, coffee has already seen a 100% increase, and 73% of the world's coffee is produced in 5 countries. Now, none of them are in the United States, meaning if you're enjoying a cup of Joe right now, it's likely imported and subject to a tariff.
It goes through many people's hands in the production of coffee. So when you receive that cup of coffee from your local cafe, it's come from halfway around the world, up a mountain sitting at 9,000 feet, and was hand-picked by somebody climbing up and down that mountain.
And what would the Midwest be without cheese? Well, this business isn't in the Midwest, but an owner of a cheese broker in New York is speaking on how the price of imported cheese is affecting her business. Reporter Kendra Brodus is in Syracuse to learn about the cost.
Cheese from around the world exists in this little shop in Eastwood, and the president's tariffs threaten the whole place.
My case is a 60-40 makeup of 60% domestic and then 40% imported cheese at any given time. So 40% of my case is going to experience an increased tax pretty substantially.
Whether it's American cheese or European cheese, all of it is wrapped in cheese paper, which is mainly made in Europe.
We don't charge for cheese paper for every piece of cheese we wrap. You know, it's kind of built into the margins of everything. But if that goes up, that means the margins we have on everything have to go up.
The president's tariffs come as right next door to the curd nerd, Sarah is opening her new restaurant. For over a year, she's crafted the wedge, thinking of every small detail. And now she also has to consider all the little items that have big new price tags.
If they're caps or corks, you know, we don't grow cork here. So if their caps or corks are made elsewhere, we're seeing an increase on those products as well.
And the new costs are already adding up before the doors even open.
We had put together a sample liquor order that was going to be about $2,000 on a Friday, and by the time we went to place it with our distributor on a Monday, it was closer to $3,500.
She didn't place the order, and that price could change. But for now, Sarah is excited for the future, while also bracing for its uncertainty. In Syracuse, Kendra Brodus, News Channel 9.
Now going outside of the U.S., where a vineyard in Germany is reacting to the tariffs. They say 8 out of every 10 bottles of wine they make are exported. In fact, the wine industry in Germany is focused mostly on exporting wine. According to the German Institute of Wine, a sixth of all wine exports last year went to the U.S. That totals 13 million liters or over 3 million gallons of wine. According to a U.S. market intelligence firm, last year, Americans spent over $30 billion on imported wine from across the globe. Now, Trump says the goals of these tariffs are to bring manufacturing back to America. Michigan's Democrat Governor Gretchen Whitmer saying she agrees with the president on this point, but that tariffs are not the way to encourage more American-made goods.
So while I share the president's goal of bringing good-paying middle-class manufacturing jobs back, it's got to be done right. Reindustrialization could have huge ripple effects, since manufacturing has the highest economic multiplier of any sector. Every dollar spent to make something triggers a chain reaction of material purchases, job growth, and supply chain, and more economic growth.
Whitmer goes on to say that tariffs are a blunt tool and that without a clear end goal, tariffs are like a hammer to the economy.